There's a growing number of Wall Street CEOs who begin voicing grave concerns that they once kept to themselves. Some, like Larry Fink of BlackRock, recently warned that most executives he speaks to believe that U.S. might already be in a recession, citing market turbulence tied to escalating tariffs. And Goldman Sachs' David Solomon echoed that tariffs are forcing businesses to, quote, tighten their belts, leading to reduced investments and lower GDP forecasts. So those are things you might expect your CEOs to not want to say out loud because they don't want to manifest those. But there's also one that they say often that's changing a bit in the actual verbiage. CEOs are adopting a sharper tone with workers with the everyone's replaceable. And everyone's now replaceable, not just with somebody else, but with AI upskilling demands that are going forward. They aim to have a spur of urgency in the AI market. And because they can use AI bots to do things that people can actually do now these days, people really are expendable. Experts warn that fear-driven strategy about this could actually backfire on the CEOs, though. The push for AI talent readiness may help in the short term, but risks hurting employee morale long term if not handled correctly. Now, corporate leaders are arguing that the warnings serve a purpose, alerting stakeholders and preparing for economic shifts, that you can do more things with literally less or more pixels, more energy, if you will, but there's going to be differences in how money works in general. The tough talk helps set expectations for potential layoffs and restructuring for the people, and also signals investors that companies that are proactively managing risk and positively positioning themselves for long-term competitiveness, another big word I can't see the A, will be in better shape. Critics say the fear tactics about AI taking over everything can degrade trust. Scarring employees might impair innovation and loyalty. They won't be more able to do more great things for you or want to do things on their own back, put their necks in the line. They know that they're going to get rewritten by a script any day now. On the macro side, Wall Street's public anxiety risks fueling a self-fulfilling recession if companies collectively pull back on hiring and investment. It becomes a doom spiral of expectations shaping reality. The debate echoes wider tensions between short-term caution and long-term growth, where CEOs face pressure from trade policy, also AI disruption itself, and the slowing consumer demand that just is what's happening. The blunt messaging about AI maybe taking your job reflects a moment of uncertainty, definitely a sobering moment that we have to deal with, sometimes jarring in the actual application, but perhaps actually necessary. If you know that what you're doing can be done more efficiently by a machine, you worry about it. There are no longer secretarial pools typing memos for executives in the top office. One person can type that by a word processor and send it to everybody else in the world via email. And if your AI can do a very good job of first draft, then you don't necessarily need that secretary doing that as well. Wall Street senior leaders are abandoning their diplomatic understatements about many things. What's happening in the markets, what's happening in the world, and what's happening with their internals, including AIs taking over some of the jobs that are working for you. Instead of openly hailing alarm bells in the economy and the workforce, they are now approaching something that's a bit more nuanced, which should scare us all a little bit. As the world turns and the markets have their tumbles and their stumbles and sometimes going up and then tumbling and stumbling, although right now markets are very good, we will see how the companies do what they can do because their job is to keep the companies active, not so much take care of the people first. So what do you feel about AI taking over your job or someone else's job or a job you think that should not be taken over? You think that you should be better than human. You could be the John Henry Irons or John Henry of the parable trying to outfight the steam engine. Maybe you can do that. Maybe you can't. Your comments, very much welcome.